All right, welcome back. I need to make one change here on the back end, and then this should be working what we were working on when we took the break, which was posting scriptable objects over. That's all done, but we need to add in here a player item board type to the mapper. Now we can run the back end, and we'll start the front end. Hey, here's the backend starting up. Okay, we need to register the new user. Here it is. And it's created the board type. Should kick through. There we go. Now it's going to post these game objects. It may fail that, it might not. Because the ID is not there or something. Doesn't matter. We'll worry about that later. And now we can play. Come on, there it is. And we do have the proper background. And let's say I change the background to something else, and I play offline. Now it's no longer pulling from the server. And now the background is the correct one. Okay. So we're happy here. We're going to change this to be panel 27. And now we have our board types completed. When I look here at a block type, these things, we just have them with a color. But they're actually just types. No, we want it like that. So instead, I'm going to make a new type called the block type for the next piece. So let's first go to source tree. And I'm going to commit this out. Which is called Gem Wars 31. My time will be 65 minutes. My comment will be added. Player items board types. We'll commit that out and push that out. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is start in the back end. So underneath my scriptable objects, I'm going to make a new type called a block type SO. Now these are actually going to be a set, right? Just a second. So this block type is going to have a block on it. So let's make another one here called block type set. And on here we're going to have a public enum called block type set type, and we're just going to have one called default. And then, did it freeze on me? God. What a piece of crap. That was so frustrating. Okay, try that again. Underneath my entities, I have a new one here called block type, and then a block type set. So a block type here is going to have a public sprite called a image, and then a public block SO for the block that it represents, and then a block type set for the set that it belongs to. So since this is an SO, and we're in the back end, I need to have my URI and my key, and these are going to be a like this. Come on. And then a block. It's a GUID called a block SOID, and then another GUID called block type set SOID. And that's it. So this block is going to now have a number of these block type SOs called block types. And then also here, which means that now our blocks the set doesn't have a default. block type set. And it doesn't have this one here, so we can get this. So the set only has a number of these types, which has a number of these sets, and then a block has a number of block types. That looks right. So we need to have on here a block type set type. And then when I look at my block SO, we can get rid of the URI and the key. Okay, so that's done. We can now go over to my DTO scriptable objects, and we're going to add in here a block type SO DTO. And the block type on it has a GUID for my block type set SOID. And then also a GUID for my block SOID. Which means that your scriptable objects create request here includes a block type create request, which has a GUID for my block type set SOID on it. And then a block type set create request, which has a block type set type on it. Hold on. Yeah. Block type set type. This needs to get moved to enums. Okay, so when I look at this one more time, we're going to look at the scriptable objects for a block. That's right. A block type has the IIK, that's right, and the set, that's correct. When I look at the DTOs here, we've got a block SO, which is right. I've got a block type, and then I need to get my block type set SO DTO, which includes a block type set type. Like that. Now on the requests, A block create request doesn't have a sprite on it anymore, but a block type create request does. And this also has a block SO ID on it. That looks right. So now what we can do is on the auto mapper, I'm going to add it down here as a block type set. Second, that's a I like that. Okay. Now we need to create that. So in the data access layer, we have two places where we're doing this. The first is up here. We're going to read this as a block type SO, and then as a block type set SO. Still here, just lurking. Cool beans. Glad you're hanging out. Okay, and then down here, we're going to have two, which is a block type and then a block type set. And these are both SOs. Like that. Okay, we're going to add those at the bottom here. So the first one here is a block type. This is a block type create request. If I look at my context, I want to have on here a block type SO called block types SOs, and then another one called block type sets SOs. Good morning. How are you doing, A Fallen Hope? And this one is going to be a block type SO. Just like that. And then this is going to go inside of block types. Otherwise, we're just going to do this one and this one. And that's it. Okay, we got to do it again for the block type set SO. Which doesn't have any of this. Just this one. Like that. And then this one up here is a block type SODTO. A Fallen Hope says, how's it going, Sound of Gaming? So up here where we're creating our blocks now, we can get rid of my sprite URI. Same thing here. Okay. So we've added that. We've added the types. We're now storing our block types and our block type sets. The next piece that I need is a player item block type set. And this is going to be a block type set SOID. And now this is going to have on it a number of these player item block type set SO. There's no SO on that. Player items block type sets. Okay. So now that we have those, we're going to add that onto the context. Players, items, block, types. That. Down here, we're going to look at my last one that I added, which was this board type. And I'm going to add a player item block type set. Has one block type set SO with many player items block sets. Then this is a player item block type set again. And this is going to be a block type set SOID. Okay. Additionally, down on the SOs, we're going to want to do we didn't add anything to opponent. And that other collection should be fine. So in the auto mapper, I need to have a block type set. And now in my library under player items, I need to have a player item block type set DTO. And this is now a block type set SOID. Okay, in our services for the data access layer underneath my scriptable objects, I've already added that here. And in the game data access layer, up at the top now, we're going to have this read player items needs to include a case player item block type set. And this is going to be a DTO block type set. And this one we're going to say block type set. And then this one's going to be a player items block types, block type sets, DTOs equals player items dot of type player item block type DTO. Sound of Hope says the fallen hope. Sound of Gaming says the fallen hope. Good. Sorry for the delayed cleaning up my closet with my eyes on the stream. Appreciate the support again, buddy. So this is going to be a player item block type set DTO. Okay. When we do a create player, down here I want to say we have a default block set. And we're going to await on the context for the block type sets SOs. And we want to get the first or default where the block type set type is equal to default and it's active and it is active. And then we're going to do a unlock block type set, which is going to be a block type set SOID. This is a player items block type sets. Player item block type set. Then this one's going to be a this ID is equal to my block type set SOID. Player item block type sets, like that. This is a player item block type set DTO. Like that. Now we're going to add that to the context, or to the interface. Okay. Back down here, we're going to do unlock block type set, and I want to pass in my default block type set dot ID, my entity dot ID, which is the player ID. It is selected, and the context. And so this is going to be a player's block type selected equals this array, which we're going to put my player item default block type set. When we do this for the AI, now my opponent he needs to have a block type set SOID on him, and then a block type set SO. Which is going to have a number of opponent. Okay. Which means that on my library file, For an opponent, I want to add in here a GUID for a block type set SOID. And when we create it, I want to add in here a GUID for a block type set SOID. And then in the data access layer, where we create this, opponent, block type SOID equals deserialized.block type SOID. Same thing here. Okay. So now my opponent here is going to have a player item block type DTOs equals a new array here, which is just going to be a new DTO where my block type is my opponent.block type SOID is selected as true. My object type is a player item DTO. My player item type equals a block type set. That's it. So now we have our AI player, and we can unlock all of them. And that's our default block type set here. When I look back at my scriptable object under the read, block type set here and a block type. Good. Let's rebuild it. We need to unload these for this to work. Okay, so that's rebuilt. So now give it a second to import the new DLL. Okay, so over here, we're going to move this and then we're going to go down here and we're going to make a new block type SO and a new block type set SO. And this is going to be a new block type create request. Like that. And these need to be GUID.parse. And this is called a block type SO. And then this one is a block type set SO. Which only has a set type of my block type set type. And that's it. Up here we can delete this block stuff. Now on my block, I can remove my sprite. Let's not do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new type. Called a block type SO. And this is going to have a sprite. A block SO and a block type set SO. That's it. And then we're going to have another one called a block type set SO. And all this is going to have on it is a block type set type. Block type set type. And that's it. Okay. Additionally, on opponent, I want to add in here my GUID.parse of my c.blocktype set so.id. So in here we want to add a block type set SO. Okay. So when I look at a block, SO, I don't want to have this sprite on it anymore. Instead, what I want to have is a block type SO called a block type. So we're going to add it in right here with set piece. We're going to add in a block type set SO called block type set SO. Before I save this, if I look at the block, this is just at 0.8. So this is actually just a block type. Like that. Okay, I've only got a few errors that we need to track down. This first one is where we set the piece and create draws. So instead, if I make this a set, then what I want to do is I want to do my scriptable object factory dot. We're going to make a new one called create block type SO. And we want to get the one where the ID is that, and the ID for the block is equal to a string for the block SOID, and where it is active. And then we're going to do another one which is called a create block type set, which is a block type set SOID. Like that. We're going to make another one here called create block type set default SO. Like that. So this is going to be a create block type SO. And we're going to pass in here my block type set so.id and my ID. In here, we want to pass across my block type set SO. And then we're going to pass that in where we set the piece. Now, when we're playing offline, I want to say my block type set equals a scriptable object factory dot create block type set default. Like that. And here we are offline again. I'm just adding these references in here. Again, it's a block type set SO. And this is going to be block type set SO. Okay, almost done. We're going to do this as a block type set SO again. Same deal. This is game VM. Drawer block set is after drawer. Okay. This is offline again. This is offline. It's the same thing. Because we are offline. Color chance sprite. This wants me to get it from the creating the block of the block color. But now I want to do a block type equals scriptable object factory dot create block type SO of my block dot ID. And this one we want to say my block type set SO. Power went out there for a second. Strange. Thank you for letting me know, Sound of Gaming. I think it's my NAT is broken. So this one is online. So up here, we can say this is temporary. This needs to come from who is hosting the match. So I can do a scriptable object factory dot create block type set of my data cache dot player VM dot player items block type set dot first or default the one which is selected dot ID dot toString. Never bossity, says Lance Maker. I do that too, but because I can't trust my memory, I really forget stuff. I like things to be verbose so it's easy to read it when I'm going back through it. Sounds like the same thing, Lance Maker. How are you doing this afternoon? No, I did. You're fine. Cool. All right, down here, we create the draws. I need to get the same thing. We're going to add in a to-do Rob, like that. This is now when you play a piece. So we can use this again. Game board SO. When you create these draws, we want to know my board type set. Type set SO. Huh. I want this. Board set type SO. Board type set SO. It's board type set SO. I'm looking at it right here. Sorry. Block type set SO. Sorry. Block set type SO. So you've already got this. You want to put it after the drawer. After the game piece. Game draw piece SO. So it's at the end. Last one's here. Battle. So we can look at the online manager and just do this. And then here. Here in the color chance, I want to have a block type set SO called block type set SO. Like that. Base UI script block type set SO. And then up here you can pass in block type set SO called block type set SO. Pass that in there. Now when I call this one is offline. So I can just do it right here. And then down here, this override says it needs to have a block type set SO. And then again here, like that. That should do it. Now it won't work until I create those objects. So we're going to create new block type sets, block types, which we already have. And then another one called block types sets. We're going to create a new block type set type. So I'm going to call this a block type set default. And we can add that to the asset database. And then we need to add 6 of these for block type default blue. And then we'll make another one here called block type default green. Another one called block type default orange. Another one called block type default purple. Another one called block type default red. And then the last one is a block type default yellow. So when I look at the assets available, the blue one is this one. The blue block is this one. And the set type is default for all of these. This one is green, green, orange, orange, purple, purple, red, red, and then yellow and yellow. And now we're going to add those to the asset database. And we'll start the game. We want it to be offline. And there we can see the types have been set as well as the blocks. So if I wanted to test this, I could change the block image here to be anything, right? And there you can see that now these have been changed into different images. You can see our pieces are now different images, except for the block gems, because it doesn't know that the block gems are specific. Here, it doesn't know that these block gems are for... you see these block gems need to go with a block type. So let's go back, and so I can bring these things all back to their correct colors. And now when I look at block gem SO, this block is actually a block type SO. So in the big project, I'm going to look at my scriptable objects for a block gem, create request, if I look at my block create request, it's got a color. The block gem has got a GUID for my block type SOID. So this block gem is now going to be a block gem. I'm sorry, it's called a block type SO. Block type SOID. And that's going to have a number of these block gem SOs called block gems SOs. Looks like I've got some kind of an error. Let's find it. It's probably in the context. New. It's not there. Is it in the lib? That's probably fine too. I can just close it and reopen it. That'll propagate it. There it is. It's in here. In my game data access layer, when we're creating a piece in the drawer, it's telling me that it wants to get the... So we have the block. I need to get the set. So I need to add in here a block type set DTO. So down here we're going to do a var. We want to get the one where the gem is equal to that. The block type set is equal to block type set.id, and it's active. Same thing here. This is going to be a block type set SODTO. Like that. Here again, we want to have a block type set SODTO. Now, when you create the game, we need to pick the host. Well, I'm actually out of time for the day. Thank you guys for staying with me. If you have any questions, always check out our Discord, discord.pixelhorrorstudios.com. We're going to try to get this demo up before the end of the week. So thanks again, guys. And until later, you can always check us out at discord.pixelhorrorstudios.com and youtube.pixelhorrorstudios.com. See you guys later. Have a good evening. Bye.